Hello guys, how are you? Bitcoin update, let's party. Firstly, this is not financial advice. These markets are wild. I believe in the long-term future of Bitcoin in particular. I don't want to just leave people high and dry and not put something out while the markets are tanking. So I'll let you know where I'm at, where my head's at. I posted something a little while ago saying I'm shifting some cash into gold. And it just means that if I've got some cash in gold and cash in Bitcoin, if Bitcoin's price goes up, great. If Bitcoin's price goes down, I'm getting ready to enter with that extra cash on the sidelines. So let's just dive into the charts and we'll have a look at where we're at. It was a pretty scary night last night. The markets just started getting absolutely smashed with the Ukraine-Russian situation, and then woke up this morning and we had a really nice bounce. So, a massive breath of fresh air this morning. That bounce has brought us from down at like 34 all the way up to, nearly 40 at one point. So that 15% bounce or something like that. Do I think that's the bottom? Mate, look, I don't know. I'm just positioning myself, so I'm okay if it's not, and I'm okay if it is, right? It could be. Is my guess that it is? No. What I think that we're doing is an expanded flats pattern where we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, and I think we make one more low. And if you do a measure of top to bottom, let me just clean this off. Top to bottom, took 24 days, went down 39%. If we do top to bottom, 27 days and 37%. So these two moves were really, really similar. If we were to get one more of those, which I'm not saying it is or isn't, but it's on the cards. You got to be prepared for that, because this next one, Bitcoin and crypto and markets, they like to find the point of most pain, right? And the thought from a lot of people is if we go below this area here, that we could crash all the way to 14. And so this is the most scary point. So to come back and retest this, in my eyes, would make sense. So if we used this like bull flags, we'll just did a same percentage drop from top to bottom. So the average would be about 37% move, and it would be an average of 26 days. 37%, 26 days. It could take us down somewhere to here, which is, look, it's exactly where the last low was. So it would be a really interesting double bottom pattern. If we look at things like, I've tested this on total market cap. I don't know if I've tested it on Bitcoins, but it's probably pretty close. If we do it looks like a head and shoulders pattern. Left shoulder, head, right shoulder. So if this was to play out, then it's a little deep there. If we're on the total market, I really like trading total, right? It just means it's all the cryptocurrencies, it's their full market cap, the whole crypto space, the crypto space as a whole. So if we did a head and shoulders from here, so that's the left shoulder, head, right shoulder. So you get the neckline, which is the bottom of the left shoulder and the bottom of the right shoulder. And then if you grab a line from the neck to the top of the head, bring that across to the breakout point, then it gives you your downside target. So if we did the same thing that we did on the Bitcoin price, top to bottom, let's do that with info line. Sorry, let's go top to bottom. Again, these ones are really well defined. Oop, get rid of that. We go top to bottom. So we've got 34%, 40%, and around the 25-day mark. So if we did that again, so what would be average would be about 37%, and it would be for an average of 26 days. Look, if we did exactly the moves that we did before, one more time, it brings us straight to the neckline from the head and shoulders target on total. So we've got that's a possibility here, guys. We might roll over, we might not. you've got to be prepared for that, because this next one, if we roll over, it's going to be scary, because it's going to be down into price levels that we haven't been in forever, and so it's just going to feel like the market's tanking, the market's capitulating. So that's an option. So what would happen if that played out? Let's clear some of this stuff off. We'll put our downside target here. Our downside target there. What I find interesting is that if we were to do a Fibonacci retracement here to the golden zone, which is around 0.68, the golden zone is this line here, right? The 0.618. So you grab the Fibonacci from the top all the way to the bottom, and then it's a retracement before it gets rejected and rolls over. Why I find this level interesting here is it's the 618 firstly, and then if we moved it around to the other side, then let's bring it a bit further. If we bring it around to the other side, we can see that this 618 level, so it's this line through here, has been key a bunch of times. Firstly, this is where our support level was. We came down and then bounced off it and then rolled back underneath it. So it's already an area of interest. We've got a touch point here. We've got a whole bunch of touch points here, touch points here. This just means there's lots of volume has been traded there. It's a really key area of support and resistance. We've got a touch point. I mean, this body, this candle, this wick got rejected by it. Body closed on it. Body closed on it. Body closed on it. And these are 2-day candles, right? And then again, and then even through here, I mean, that huge rejection there. Even the automatic rally from this capitulation back in May last year came straight back to that level before it rolled over and came down again. So that level's huge. That's an area of interest. So that equivalent on Bitcoin's like mid 41,000s, maybe like 41,700 or something. If you needed to be a little bit defensive and you're getting creamed, I'm not making any suggestions. If I wanted to pull a bit more cash out right now, it'd probably be around the $41,500 mark just to be safe. Leaving plenty in there that if this rally just keeps on going, I'm leaving plenty in there, so I'm happy that it's in there. I've got cash on the sidelines. If we roll over one more time, I'm going to start buying heavy around this area. So let's flip back to Bitcoin. I'm getting ready to go all back in, right? I believe in this market. It's not going anywhere. Just had Mexican billionaires saying, buy and hold, don't sell, you'll thank me in the future. We've got Russia's just bloody, the Russian president's just basically endorsed Bitcoin. If it's anything that goes against the US dollar, he's going to endorse it. India's just made it legal again. We've got so many people embracing it, and there's all these states in America, there's senators in different countries that are proposing bills that would make crypto legal tender, and it's becoming a debate whether it's a state thing, whether it's legal tender, or a country thing, and it's on the world stage, and it's the future of it's so bright. It's just the buys and holds, and so this area here is where I'm going to start loading back in with my cash. Can we break this and go further down? Yeah, of course we can. Shit, like it wouldn't surprise me if we come just past that. This is the area everyone's watching. So if we go just past that, maybe down to like 27, then most people would expect it to be going to either 20 or 14. And so that's scary. That's the point where people will like close all their positions, panic sell because the market's getting decimated. Down around here is a capitulation style event. So I'm probably going to be going all back in if we end up down here. If we end up in high teens, I'm going to take out another fucking massive loan and buy a shitload again. We're never going below $14,000 for each Bitcoin ever again. Not financial advice, it's just my opinion. So, yeah, I just want people to be careful because, I mean, this candle that we just had, it was absolutely beautiful. I love that huge wick on the bottom. Let's switch it to the weekly chart. We're getting huge wicks here. So there's lots of buying support here, lots of buying support there. That's a beautiful candle. That it could just start rallying from here. So just be delicate with it all. But this is what I'm talking about. Why this area is so scary here. If we come down to here, what did I say about mid 28? So if we came down to here, you get back to a point where there's no more support below there. A healthy market goes up, comes back down, goes up, comes back down, up, back down, up, back down, because that becomes support in the future. That becomes support in the future. That becomes support in the future. When you have candles like this, straight up, then there's not really any support in there. And so that's why this area is so scary, okay? So my positions are, if we get into the high 20s, I'm gonna start buying very aggressively. If we start going to low 20s, I'll take out some loans, start putting that in, just because it's like, people will think, oh, you're taking out loans to buy Bitcoin. It's like, yeah, the fucking loan interest rate's like 7% to take out a loan. Do you not think Bitcoin's going to beat 7% over the next 3 years? It needs to be 21% over 3 years. Like, I think that it's going to smash that. My longer term hypothesis right now is that this was a massive wave one, and right now we're in wave two. So wave 1, 2, so it'd be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, ABC, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then yeah. So after wave 1 and 2, you get wave 3, which wouldn't ever be this steep, but it would be a lot longer than that. So I'm not going to shit myself down here and bitch out. I'm ready to start deploying capital that I put onto the sidelines. Something else that I wanted to add in there is altcoins. If we flip to the Bitcoin dominance versus altcoin chart, you can see that the altcoins are still, compared to the history, that they're still doing really well, right? So when these candles are down here, it means that altcoins are doing well compared to Bitcoin. When the candles are up here, it means Bitcoin's doing well compared to the altcoins. So if you think altcoins have been decimated, hey, it's, one of the reasons why I'm like, I don't know if it's over, is because money hasn't flooded into Bitcoin like I would expect it to. Sort of late into a bear market. At the end of a bear market, I would have thought Bitcoin would be a lot stronger compared to alt if it was the end of a downtrend. Like here, for example, January 2018, so the very end of the 2017, let's just get this thing up. So what you got here is the 2017 rally, and it peaked at $20,000, right? Slowly, Bitcoin dominance started growing. As we went through a bear market and price got decimated, slowly Bitcoin dominance started growing. By the time the bear market actually kind of came to an end, Bitcoin dominance was up around 57%, whereas at the top of the rally, Bitcoin dominance was down at 35%. So like, what's that? Maybe like a 63% move in Bitcoin dominance, outperforming altcoins. We just haven't seen any of that yet. Bitcoin dominance hasn't shot up. It hasn't, I don't know if the fear's been instilled into the market enough yet. I would expect a pop in Bitcoin dominance to sort of signal that, yeah, maybe the downtrend's coming to an end. And then even after that, I expect Bitcoin dominance to grow for a little while longer, while so what I think would happen is that once we find a bottom, sorry. Once we find a bottom, let's say it's down here, or even if we said it's right here, it doesn't really matter. If we say we found a bottom, then price is going to just do this, and people are going to be like, oh, is it going to roll over? Oh, maybe it's a triple top, or maybe it's a fake out. Oh, and everyone's like, keeps thinking that we're about to roll over and just get decimated. And so everyone stays on the sidelines as it sort of goes up and up and up. And as that happens, people are fearful that we're just going to roll over and get tanked. And so while this happens, people avoid altcoins because they know they'll get decimated more. And so I think that Bitcoin dominance will outperform probably until Bitcoin, I reckon this is a really good way to trade it. I would say that Bitcoin dominance outperforms until Bitcoin has gone past where it was before. And the moment to switch over to alts will be as we get this pullback and find support on these two highs. That one, in my opinion, would be the time to switch from Bitcoin into alts, because that will be the confirmation candle that the bull market's back on, which would allow people to build up some risk and move into alts. So I'm going to be heavy into Bitcoin until we've broken through this into 70,000s, come back to the retest, and then still leave a bunch in Bitcoin. Who knows, maybe it keeps outperforming for a while. But right now, historically, if you're tossing up between Bitcoin and altcoins, you've got to zoom out and look at the full history, guys. We're still sitting at near record lows in Bitcoin dominance compared to alts. So there is room for, maybe it goes down, maybe Bitcoin, maybe fucking alts just keep outperforming. It's not my guess. I would say that there's room for Bitcoin dominance to come back in pretty hot. All right.